Hi, Tara Wade. I am going to do part two as I said I would last week. Last week we talked about divorce and how it's a good idea to have a realtor to help navigate you through that process to make it as seamless as possible when there is division of property. And today we're going to not just really talk about the division of property and if one person wants to stay and the other one wants to leave or you both want to leave. We touched on that last week. Today, what I'm going to talk about is emotional attachments, and not just emotional attachments to one another or emotional detachments and anger and all these weird feelings, but to the actual home itself. And this is not uncommon. That's your home, everything that you loved and love and did, blood, sweat, tears, projects in the home, memories, children being born, pets being brought home, maybe pets passing away. There's all sorts of things that happen in the home that you live in, and that it creates value. And when there's division of property and that value needs to be determined, I can really help you to create a value that is accurate. Oftentimes, when there is an emotional attachment to a home, especially during a divorce, emotions are running wild usually, and it's not just the breakup of the marriage, and there's the child support that's going on. Who's going to get the dog? Who's going to stay in the house? Do we keep the house? Does one person have it? Do I buy out the other one? I'm not going to go into that a lot today, but what I am going to talk about is being just a neutral third party. And I just remain professional. I'm objective. And when it comes to your family home, I really just focus on the logistics of selling your property, managing it, getting the correct value for it, having things done to it that would help sell it quicker and faster and maybe get you some more money, rather than any feelings that are attached to it. And although I do have a lot of empathy towards situations when it comes to your property and really just getting the job done, I can just remain it is just a transaction that needs to be done, and I can help you navigate through that without having bickering back and forth. I can help you put a correct value on your property so that, if the value of your property, let's say it's worth $600,000 according to the comps, and you have, a few things that maybe make yours a little more, so we adjust for that. But if you're thinking that you want to sell your house for $800,000 because it has that much value, and you put in the carpet upstairs and you painted your kids' room with that special full paint, and just different things that really aren't going to add $200,000 worth of value, I can show you how I come across that number and tell you why I believe that that's the number we should be at. And when I give you that number, it's a true number that we should really stick to. And obviously, I will always take into consideration what you see and what you say, but I also want you to respect that I'm the professional, and I always want what's best for you. And I want you to remember, the more your house sells, the higher my commission is. And so it's not that I'm ever trying to down your house and sell it for less just to sell it quicker. That's not what I do. It's to get your house sold as fast as we can for the most amount of money. Typically, when people put their house up for sale and it is put at a higher than market value, sometimes it will sell depending on the market, but oftentimes here's the way that works. I say your house is worth $650,000. You're like, no, it's worth $800,000 because I did this, I did that, I put a whirlybird in the attic, I did this, and so these are all great things, but these things oftentimes aren't going to raise your value $200,000 more than your neighbors. So what'll usually happen is we'll list it for that higher amount if that's really what you want to do. And then what'll happen is 30 days will pass. And, I'll have the conversation with you. It's overpriced. It's not within market. And if we'll have the conversation, do you want to lower the price a little bit or do you want to hang on? Two things happen here. You can either hang on and hopefully, somebody will look at it, or we can lower the price. And I never like lowering the price, because what happens is when you lower the price, people are thinking, oh, they've lowered it once, they'll take less. So I like to start at a good solid number, and most of the houses that I sell, they sell for at asking price, and the least that's ever been taken off any home I've sold is $5,000, and that's not really bad, but most of them sell for asking, and that's exactly what you want. That's what you're asking, that's what you want. So I can also help, we talked about the property division a little bit last time, so I don't want to get too far into that, but I'm not a lawyer, but I can also guide you guys through some of the steps that you might want to take. I can refer you to some attorneys. I am a paralegal, so I can help guide you through paperwork if you would like to do that, like quit claim deeds, things like that. But mainly, overall, what I do is, and any realtor for that matter that has your best interest in mind, but I really focus on taking the emotional weight off of the entire process to ensure that your decisions are made based on facts, market values, and I help you move on with a clear and practical perspective, because we all know when you're dealing with an emotional state that isn't rational, decisions aren't always the best. If you're upset and you want to reply to an email, you've always heard, okay, give it 24 hours and then reply. And there's a reason for that, because the reply is usually a little bit different when your mind is in a different state. So my number is 480-550-2871 if you ever want to call. But really, I'm making these just for education and wise and help. If you have any questions on real estate, navigating through a divorce, or anything for that matter, I encourage you to give me a call. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.